Hi everyone, welcome to the Superhuman Switch podcast. I'll be talking with corporate executives, business owners, and startup founders who are striving to maintain a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Today I have a guest that I still call her a colleague, where she is an inspiration in a sense that she's a mom, she's a corporate executive with an amazing career progression, and we are going to discuss how basically we are maintaining the physical and mental. So Yasmine, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Bonjour.
أهلين. So we can speak in Arabic. So هيك we can have it
Yeah, أكيد.
a nice bilingual. So again, شكرا جزيلا على وقتك.
شكرا كثير على استضافتك.
Okay, so Yasmine, I'll start with a classical question, and again we can have a deep dive into more interesting questions. How about the balance between the corporate life and the personal life? So give me your perspective about it and what are the main challenges and how you are tackling it.
I think the word balance is somehow overrated. Mm-hmm. And it depends how you really want to integrate balance among the priorities that you have, how you want to juggle your world. Yeah. And I truly believe it's not mathematical. So there's nothing 50-50, 30-30, 30%, you know? So I trust that we've learned that work and life, they are in symbiosis. Okay. There is a fusion. And really, when you are entrenched in your work, it is a big part of your life. And you enjoy it because your life is blossoming as well through your work and vice versa. Okay. So it depends how you set your really priorities and that make you happy, where you feel serene, you feel fulfilled. And as long as you are accomplished in either or both infusion, and you have this reconciliation deep down, then this is your secret to your balance. So I can't give you a certain recipe that works for me but works for you. I might inspire you with tactics, for example. Okay. So honestly, that's how I see it. It's easier said than done because I've struggled through my journey when I was accelerated in my career path. I've got 3 kids during my career. I've changed 3 countries, 4 roles. So it wasn't easy through the whole period to say that I've nailed it. I had my ups, my downs, a lot of swings, a lot of tears trying to crack it. Yeah. And it is challenging.
I totally hear you. And just go back in time when I joined in Nestle in 2010. The first time we met was 2011 when you were appointed as the GM of Lebanon. وبتذكر يعني كان the first time we had the business review and I was like all over the place, knowing the business, knowing the country, because in the past couple of years I didn't operate in Lebanon. The only thing that I noticed as a senior executive managing a whole country was an inspiration to me. And I still remember the discussion with my other colleague, Nawatalla. And again, we discussed, I was like looking at it like, wow, this energy, it was radiating. And at the same time, we had a couple of like follow-ups when you came to Dubai. Your presence as a leading in such a role was really inspiring.
Thank you.
The transition going from Lebanon to the UAE, then managing the whole country of the UAE. Now, currently, you are the head of sustainability in Nestle for the Middle East and Northern Africa. With the current role, what are basically the key scope and how you look into the health and wellness under the umbrella of sustainability?
My health and wellness. It's the planet as well.
That's true. We can cover both, but I'll start with you, with the current basically capacity you're managing, and again we can cover how you look into the health and wellness and the corporate scope.
Yeah, so it was a leap of faith from being so immersed in the commercial and operation world, having big teams. to being somehow solo, but working, with the radius extended across all the businesses that we have, all the factories that we have in MENA. So this is the new scope, and in charge of tailoring strategy and the roadmap for MENA in line with our global net zero roadmap. So how we want to decarbonize our value chain from farm to fork. It embeds a lot of public corporate affairs, technical, let's say angle, strategic angle, and definitely shaping the whole, let's say, strategy and raising the knowledge and the know-how across teams behind it, and engaging definitely externally. So it is really huge, but it is purposeful. It is so connected as well personally to my values and principles.
Amazing.
I'm in love with it.
Yeah.
And it's about how we're nurturing a better future for the generations. So it's not only about unlocking the power of food to enhance quality of life for people and generation, but also how to safeguard the resources and protect, restore our planet.
Yeah, that's why this is the challenging point for me to understand how the sustainability in the big corporations is linked with the humans. And of course, we all know Nestle.
Humans are at the heart of it.
Exactly. And knowing Nestle and how basically the whole company started, and of course with the journey they had, that the customer is the center of everything.
Yeah.
But the umbrella of the sustainability, it became, unfortunately for some companies, it became like something like a nice gimmick, nice marketing, CSR kind of responsibilities. But knowing Nestle, especially in this part of the world, it's a big responsibility. And I'm sure that the interesting part, when I knew that you are managing the sustainability, knowing you from your values and principles, you are a perfect fit. But I'm really interested. Now I understand from the business side of things, but where's starting with the employees and the customers, how it's embedded in the strategy of sustainability overall?
Look, in our part of the world, sustainability is not yet your license to operate, like in Europe or Americas, elsewhere.
Yeah.
However, you can see that governments are stepping up in their strategies, in their net zero commitments, to the UN, their pledges. There is more and more awareness when it comes as well to people, to communities, and our youth. I bet you, if you dig in the books of your children, or even the walls of the classes, across it's all about SDGs. This is the ecosystem they are being nurtured about. They are our hope and future.
True.
And post-COVID, or amidst COVID, the priorities of people shifted. There was a massive awareness about healthier lifestyle, what's happening to nature, and how nature is getting back on humanity. Even sustainability, it became normalized somehow in terms of conversations around it, dialogues. People, they are eager, even in the Middle East, to let's say, follow this path of more sustainable lifestyle, but they need support. They need more education. They need the corporations or even the government to walk them through how to do it rightly. But, and not just because it's the right thing to do, it's inevitable. It is the only thing we have to do because we only have one planet. That's everybody true. On the news, in documentaries, they're seeing the fires, the floods, the talks about food security, water, drought, desertification, and this raises fear. So there is this moment of truth. What are we going to do about it? Even the scientific reports. biologists, ecologists who are really more active than before, the activists, the demonstrations about planet. It all creates a wake-up call. So I think we are all responsible to take action and to lean on each other, because no one alone can be a savior. Yeah. So there is a great purpose behind it. And yes, and it is connected, by the way, when you're talking about the health of the planet, it is as well the health of the people, the health of nature, everything. It's a life cycle, and all the pieces of the puzzle are connected.
I love it. It's a complete ecosystem. I did recently a small research about the fast fashion, working on an interesting project about basically the sustainability activewear.
Yeah.
And one of the research that I stepped into is about how the companies are managing it and how they are shifting the mindset. What I realized that there is a nice pattern between the key three drivers of the sustainability, between the social responsibility, the environmental responsibility, and the business responsibility.
No.
And there are 6 themes. And I had interesting question that, is it the responsibility of the big brands and companies or the responsibility of the individual? What I realized that the individuals are interested and there is a demand, but there is a knowledge gap. Where we say sometimes, okay, the government is taking the action or X big company is taking the actions, there is, unfortunately, still, especially after COVID, there is a trust element that is missing between the individual himself and if I believe in the government or I believe in the company. It's a bit debatable.
There is a gap. Many people, they have the conviction or they know that this is the right thing to do, but there is a gap between what you believe in and the action, how to execute on this agenda, you know? And here, but you have as well a niche who are the eco-warriors.
Okay.
They are actively pursuing every step of the way in their lifestyle and their choices. But some, they just need, to pull the trigger to start catching up.
Yeah.
And sometimes people who want to pursue this lifestyle, they still feel a bit isolated because sometimes in society there's the pressure of the mass.
That's true.
Where many are still nonchalant about it, But I think we need to make it contagious, and the topic should be surging more in media as a hot topic.
Yeah.
It is there, but it's not enough. We talk about so many other matters that could be destructive or could be, not paramount and that essential, detrimental to continuity, to the sustainability of life on Earth. So it is that dramatic, but we need to keep it top of mind and to encourage, mobilizing economies, societies, individuals behind taking the right action and devising the right strategies.
I think we have a big journey ahead of us, and things. It has a negative lens and a positive lens, but things are improving when it comes to the awareness.
Yeah.
But the tactical and the activity or the actions that we can do on daily basis, they are not clear yet because the way we are established or being part of like a society that is built the wrong way, I think we have a long journey. I will go back a little bit to how the sustainability, because now you are the expert in that field, but I will link to it.
Still learning.
it's you're ahead of the curve comparing to others. But again, I will link it back to how we take care of ourselves and how we can bring our basically lifestyle to attach it to the sustainability. And I'll go back to you as Yasmine, how your daily routine now when it comes to taking care of your health and wellness.
Yeah, look, since December, I had a personal, personal aspiration that I want to put myself first. It was always my work, family, and so many priorities. And like, I'm the wind behind the wings of everyone. Yeah. And this bucket, my energy that keeps spreading.
You are known by that.
Yeah. So the energy, the support, the coaching, the love, the mentoring, But I reached a point where really the past couple of years were an upheaval, with a lot of stress, work, COVID, team dynamics, Lebanon, our parents are aging. You know, all of this, it boils in your heart and mind. And in the end, despite hearing the cliche, you're the Wonder Woman, Iron Woman, you know, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to give this
nice.
at the introduction because I know Yasmine as the Iron Woman.
But honestly, we have our weaknesses.
True.
Even behind this constant smile, it doesn't mean that my heart isn't aching, or sometimes I'm not torn. And I had some, you know, medical stuff, happening with me. So and no matter how many, you know, doctors I've seen or tests I've done, but it all boiled down that it's stress. It's not hormones. It's not my age. It's So I wanted to take care of myself. So it started by pursuing a lifestyle which has more quality nutrition in terms of intake. I wanted to commit to sports. Always I sacrifice sport. So whenever I wanted to start, like I had some stretches of inspiring, you know, sports life, but then I used to sacrifice it, compromise on my health and well-being for the sake of my work or taking care of my kids. And for a long period, I was as well solo with my kids due to having dual career in different countries, me and my husband. So it was too much to carry on alone. But this time I said it's all about commitment. I want to inject this discipline in my life. And I want to aspire to the Yasmine that I want to be. Why I usually ace or goals and, you know, I'm driven by achieving, but I don't put myself as this project or this KPI that I want to crack. And so I motivated myself. I had motivation from definitely my close friends, my family, despite some doubts. Why now? Now, you know, December, you will have a lot of family people over, dinners and outings. But I said, no, I don't care.
Exactly.
No, I enjoy being with people, but I want to commit 100% without cheat. And honestly, the journey has been impressive.
Amazing.
In 3 months, already you've seen a transformation in me, and I'm consistent. So I think commitment without consistency will not lead you anywhere.
Absolutely.
And to really fall in love with the results, because your own results, how your body is being molded to a new you, your spirit, the self-esteem, this is alone an awesome motivation.
Absolutely.
And what I'm proud of is that I became a walking testimonial that we can do it. And I've did it despite all, you know, the challenges around me. And I was able to onboard on this journey many of my colleagues in the corporate world in different positions of seniority. And so I'm a new teen in my 40s.
I love it. You touch on a couple of points. Actually, I wanted to cover them. The first one is selfishness. The second one is the routine.
No.
And I will start with the selfishness because recently I was reading an interesting book, and being selfish in the sense of positive selfishness, it has a positive impact first on yourself.
Love yourself.
Exactly.
This is not
and
selfishness.
Having an impact on the people around you.
Absolutely.
And the moment you put yourself at the beginning, eventually you will reach a point that you have two choices, positive choices, actually results, outcome. You will improve, or basically how you feel about yourself, and how you will become an inspiration to others. And this is what I think you noticed this on as an experience.
Yeah, confirmed.
Exactly. The second point is the routine, where I know for a fact in the actual life, social life, we have our responsibilities, social commitments, work. We have our ups and downs.
Yeah.
But what I realized that if you prioritize to have a system and routine in your daily basis, and we discussed this briefly about how you schedule everything, if you give the chance to 80% following a structure and 20% for flexibility, you are in much better situation. Third point is the motivation. And again, motivation, in my opinion, is overrated, where the action leads to motivation. And I think also you notice that okay, I'm doing this, I'm seeing the results, so I'm getting more excited. This is where the outcome is the motivation and not the other way around.
But you need as well to, the starting point, you should be motivated, like have a flame inside you.
Yeah.
That ignites you towards this purpose.
But it will become a virtuous cycle. It feeds
virtuous,
in. Exactly. Virtuous
yeah.
cycle that, okay, it's like I'm excited, I'm seeing the results, I'm going back to it. But I will not, because again, شوف كل العالم okay, I'm waiting for the motivation. And waiting for the motivation.
The bellish from inside.
Exactly.
It starts from you. Because sometimes, honestly, even from close people, they might have doubts, or they might, think if you're gonna follow this, you're gonna be a bit away from them.
That's
because
true.
people as well are selfish. They want more of you.
That's true.
And sometimes in your other mode, the eclipse mode.
Exactly. We're social creatures anyway. We need each other eventually. But I will go. This is basically the interesting part. What's your switch? This is the whole idea that what made you in December? Because almost 99% they consider that the New Year resolution is the switch.
Or the Monday of every week.
But what's your inner switch that, okay, and you covered some of them, but I need to go deep just to understand Yasmine, because you are categorized as a high achiever and the people, they look into you as the Iron Woman. But what is the actual switch that, okay, this is a turning point, I cannot sustain this anymore, I need to do something about it. So what's the one idea that, okay, I have to do something about it?
It's not just that I wanted to unleash the Yasmine that always used to be, a role model across different years. Like I missed how I used to be from the healthier or active point of view. But really, I just reflected that I was, almost here and in my journey in sustainability, and it's all about regeneration, that I'm walking the talk of regeneration of Nestle. And I've said it's all about good for you and good for the planet. I'm pursuing the good for the planet in my focus, definitely communities, but how about me? How about me having as well a regeneration in how I want to be. But regeneration, it is about, how you're restoring, you're nurturing, you are reborn. And I wanted this to start from within. And now even when I go on leave, I say I'm on the regenerative, days off, because it's all about, how you just, you are a seed. And the fertile soil, it starts from your mindset and your spirit. And you need to water it. Not only to sprinkle around you and create ripple effect around you. So prioritizing, loving yourself, because you cannot pour from an empty bucket, and regenerating to continue blossoming, because we are part of nature. So how I can thrive. So this was really an inflection point, that walking the talk, talking the walk, not only about business, but it starts from us. To be,
Yeah, I love this. It's now it's interesting how you notice that by doing this, you started to have this ripple effect on the people around you. Although knowing for a fact that you have your kids, before we go to the kids, because it's an interesting topic even for myself. But when it comes to your corporate life and your busy corporate life, how you started to have the influence around you, and I'm interested to hear. Is it something that you are taking action as a group or on an individual level? this is where go back to the corporate wellness. Now everyone is the buzzword corporate wellness. Everyone is taking care. The HR responsibility, the people responsibility. It's a big topic.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't fade because post-COVID it's buzz, then it might fade. So I'm worried about this. But what's the concrete action now you took with your colleagues to sustain this? Because going back as a sustain this activity, not sustainability, to make sure that either you're motivating each other or you're putting a structure program. Just give me an idea how you are managing this.
Look, it started, this shift, it was my personal decision. But I cannot deny that the ecosystem as well of Nestle, it's all about nutrition, health, and wellness.
True.
So the ambiance is there. And I'm in a department where as well many of my colleagues, they are nutritionists because we under the umbrella.
That's why I wanted to link the sustainability and what you're doing.
So they're picky in their choices in their eating. We have Nestle Health Sciences, my neighbors in the second compartment.
I hope the confectionery are away.
We have the minis, so it's okay. It's about portions. We want to indulge. And then, even HR, they have been doing great job in launching a lot of series about healthy lives, healthy talks, coaches, modules that we need to complete as training. Okay. But in the end, no matter how much you receive information, or listen to others, active lifestyle. We had many of our executive leaders in the board as well, showing us, what they're doing in their leisure in terms of sports. But nothing can move the dice if you don't want to move, or flip the coin.
Yeah.
In the end, it's your choice. And it is depends on which lens you want to see the world.
Yeah.
Which priorities you want to set as the leading and not lagging, drivers in your life.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of positive things happening around, but I never took the decision. In the end, we own what we want to do. Once you start, and being someone who's looked up to and very close to my colleagues, who I call really family or like my friends, you start persuading others, why not to start now? Because many, they need this inch of push or support or, But honestly, you are the only one in charge of your life to make it happen.
That's how.
But I'm really happy that honestly more than 10, at least in this short period, they followed this path and they were able as well to influence positively their own friends in their.
That's why I believe the ripple effect and the compound effect of such, because it's a nice reflection, but. In the companies, again, Nestle is quite unique. Do you think, you mentioned that it's a responsibility of the individual, but I strongly believe that also if you are in the right environment, you have a high tendency to achieve it.
And the culture.
Exactly.
And, the hybrid system, it helps you, but we can't take things for granted. So if you have the flexibility to come 1 hour later, you can exercise in peace in the morning and drive safely to work, not to rush things. If we have as well the opportunity to exit 1 hour before, the official schedule. So as long as, there is this culture that empowers you to be to take control of your schedule, of your days while delivering, but there is this trust, why not really to take advantage to be able to do the best in both worlds.
True.
To feel satisfied, to be more productive towards yourself, but not only towards the business. Because when you are happy, when you are energized, when you're focused, when you have your space, you can give more.
That's true.
So this is the cycle. It's not, like when did you punch and what were you doing, and as if it is wrong. No, just as well show it off.
Yeah, I don't think anyone. I'm talking about the old generations, the boomers, the X.
We're evolving.
It's like even the Gen Z. They are trying to become part of a kind of a holistic perspective, and you covered the point basically how these young generations are looking to the brands, and if these brands can bring value to me, are they taking care of me?
What do you stand up for?
Exactly. But the point again, it's a mix between the personal responsibility, going back to the employees, even if the company gave the flexibility, are they going to misuse it? Because anyone now pushing for the coming back to offices, or keep the flexibility, but are you using this flexibility for your own sake to keep this drive and energy? It's a big question mark. It's you cannot judge neither the company or the individual. But again, it's sometimes now currently most of the challenged companies are being challenged that, okay, if I can bring like create a small gym or a small kind of a ping pong table, I don't think anyone can buy in because I still remember Nestle back, there was a gym and no one stepped into it. So so it's like...
It depends. Here as well, most high-rises, they have a gym, or the communities, there's a gym. Or some people opt to exercise maybe with their neighbors or not necessarily work. It's a hassle, although it is, an option. But it might be a hassle for others, to take everything with you to work and to shower there. It depends.
That's true.
But now, now there is a free gym in the WC. They just announced it, and the employees can use it for free. So I think it could be a blessing for many.
True.
Knowing as well the prices of personal trainers or gyms where you need to pay a membership.
That's true.
So, but not necessarily to have a gym, We need to, when you want to be active, you can be active anywhere. Even in your own house.
True.
By doing chores, by making more steps, by walking around your building, maybe walking your dog. Even if the weather doesn't help. When I used to live in Kuwait, many Kuwaitis as well, they used to exercise in the malls because they're huge. So you see most of them, even in Ramadan before iftar, they are in their abayas or casual wear with the sneakers and walking, and sweating. So if you want to move or be active, you can make the best out of it anywhere.
If you have the will, you have the way.
So it's about being active, not being constrained. I need this machine. If you do the rope, skip the rope, this is enough. If you have a band and you can stretch, as long as you move, you can dance.
That's interesting. So now you are into boxing because I've seen you several times doing boxing.
I love it.
Yeah. So is this the sport that you decided to jump into?
It is actually not the whole hour boxing, but it is the first 15 minutes just to pump myself.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love it. So it is a fraction of the strength training or functional training.
That's you're not planning to use it against anyone, just in case.
When I was really young in school, I started kickboxing as self-defense.
Okay.
You know the situation.
Yeah.
But I think it's just great. It puts me on fire.
No, I've
and
then
seen it. I continue.
It's really nice. I will go back since you mentioned Lebanon, and again, it's quite unique because we're both from the same, I would say, community.
No.
Do you think that our parents being challenged by being healthy and cascading this kind of health and wellness in general, and I'm not talking about specific, but I'm talking about the community and the society of Lebanon back in the days, I'm not talking about now, it's another chapter. But do you think that there was an awareness about this before it was, or okay, it's totally different?
Look, we are as well generation of the Civil War.
Exactly.
So we didn't have, let's say, peaceful, serene childhood. It's all about protection, survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Look, but I look back to my childhood. Okay, maybe our parents weren't counting calories for us or what to eat. And we all come from the Middle Eastern hospitality spirit where you need to keep eating and finishing your plate, and everybody wants to give you a treat. And no one, you know, checks what maybe candy or the sugars that you have in a day. But as well, we were active as kids. I remember we used to play outside on the road, on the street. We didn't have green spaces. So many hours. And even if we wound ourselves, we go inside, put dawa ahmar,
rinse, repeat.
And continue, repeat. You know. And I think as well, after the 89-90 war, my school as well was aggressively, let's say, sponsoring basketball. So I remember this was our nest from the juniors until the seniors, enjoying long hours of basketball. So all of this was really, you know, keeping you active. Some people had scouts. We never were able to be in Boy Scout or Girl Scout. And, you know, many Lebanese, they go to the mountains all summer, or they have villages. So they're very active when outdoors. We enjoy beautiful nature, 4 seasons, the ski, the swimming. So maybe our parents didn't know what we know. But we had the liberty to be really active all the time.
That's true. So I'm reflecting on it in a really interesting way, because the difference between the school and we were looking forward to finish the school to play outside. And at the same time, in the summer break, we spent it either on the beach.
Full days, 9 a.m. till maybe the late evening.
We use our homes as a hotel, like just go sleep. But that's really, but again, my question is that how we shifted, especially moving to the GCC, moving to Dubai and Kuwait in UK, is that it's a responsibility for us now. Is it the educational element or trying to push our kids to go out? And this is where I found it challenging. That even if you're living in a close community, even asking them to go out, it's a challenge. Where before,
as well because of their gaming style. You know, the technology, it has its cons and pros.
True.
So how much they sit behind screens, no matter how much you preach. You cannot force them. You can induce them. Maybe to have positive influencers when they are a gang going, maybe doing the same activities. You are a role model to your kids. I admire what you do, even from the comfort of your garden, not only when I see you in the gym. I love it. And they're following your path. But not always, you know, the parents, they have the means or the time to keep, you know, taking them to so many activities.
That's true.
It used to create butterflies in my stomach when I was in Lebanon. You know, sometimes there are mommies who are really dedicated and they have tons of activities per week, and I never had this chance. You know, I commute long distance to reach work, working long hours till the evening, and barely someone can do maybe one activity.
It's true.
When you go to the Gulf, there is a chunk of the weather, of work, circumstances. Do you have the means maybe to have a driver taking care of this, or someone close to you who can carpool? All elements, you know, but it's how can you inject something to create a balance and show them why it's important for them. And as well, the schools, they do have nice, you know, extra activities, during the hours and post the hours. So
you're
definitely
right.
We have more awareness, more education. But are we putting everything that we know in action? You know,
that's an interesting question. It's although now they have the conveniency and accessibility, and maybe the time for us to take them to nice gyms and facility comparing to our uprising back in Lebanon. But again, I realize, and this is basically what I noticed, that, if I can do the thing and they can see me doing it, it has a better inflection on them. Let me give this a try. Whatever I'm doing, yoga, strength training, etc. But I started to notice that instead of me putting the effort, money, and transportation to take them to specific activity. That I'm just wasting
and time, by the way, on the road.
Exactly. But I started to notice that this is not giving them the being attached to this activity. And I found that them seeing me doing this, it has a better influence.
And you're doing quality time.
Absolutely.
I love it because you're bonding more. It's not only the weekend or 1 hour before nap time. You're spending beautiful time making memories and healthier style of memories. Not only go to the restaurant and spend an hour and have meals. Bravo.
Bravo, you too, actually, because I've seen some activities. So the question is that how do you think now your kids, being a successful woman in the big company, in the same time taking care of yourself, in your opinion, how do you think that your kids are looking up to you?
They tell me, Mommy, we're proud of you, and this makes me so happy, and that's it. So I love it. They're very honest. They don't lie. They tell you the absolute truth, and they do motivate me, and I love their feedback. So, and they know that I'm committing. It's not about how I look now or how I used to be, but through your commitment, you're teaching them values.
True.
Taking care of yourself, being healthy, the discipline, commitment, you have a purpose, goals, nothing happens between, in a short period. You need to be consistent over a long period. So when you as well give moral stories of how you can deploy those values in other things in life to achieve so many goals.
True.
Academically, professionally, solving stuff, maintaining, good bonding with your friends. Everything, falls into perspective.
I love it.
So it's how you create meaning out of any action. So I really invest time in those talks because it is what widens their mindset.
Yeah, it's especially now. I think they're not all teens, right? There is a transition.
I have 2 teens, and
I think it's always critical because I just reflect on my teenage.
Now,
all of us, it's like it's I think it's critical because now the conversation started to. It's a mix between maturity and being a kid. And you have to be thoughtful
borderline.
About... Exactly, being thoughtful about being like, okay, the way you have a conversation with another adult, or, okay, you can treat him as your lovely son or someone that you love him that much. But the point is that what are the influence on them, and what, again, just to close on this point, I realized that me doing this, them seeing me, I'm doing this, it has a much better impact instead of giving them instruction. I'm not talking about the Gen Z, Gen X.
And it resonates.
Exactly.
Not necessarily that all the impressions that you're seeding in them, they are vocal about it. But rest assured, it is resonating. Something positive is being imprinted. And they are going anyways to translate it into actions eventually.
Absolutely. That's okay. The parenting is another topic. We can cover it another. But again, I'm really glad that you have. It was obvious on the transition that you did, but I really congratulate you on the decision that I need to put myself first, and then it will be cascaded positively on everyone, not only the family, your colleagues, and again, it's a driver. Yasmine, as a leader in Nestle.
No.
What are the things that you can take now to, of course, starting with yourself is clear, but where do you think that the companies, starting Nestle, to take really concrete actions to drive this kind of a healthy lifestyle in the company? I'm not talking about the nutrition. I will not even entertain the discussion between the different opinion about the products.
No.
It's another discussion. But in your opinion, what are the things that the company have to take action to have it? Is it a top down? Is it an individual to cascade it bottom up? What's your perspective about this?
about companies, really to foster this culture where when we say it is employee centric, to value the employee as a complete human being, not only the aspect related to work, but the 100%. And to have the enablers in the system, that promotes balance, that promotes active lifestyle, and encourage you to really pursue it and have more role models, even, top down, across, anyone can inspire you. It's not necessarily you always look at the top of the pyramid.
True.
But really to have those, seats all around. It starts with the culture and then enablers.
True.
So the type of the insurance, the mental health aspect, that it is being granted as well through insurance.
True.
Those calls 24/7 that you can vent, because it's not only the physical health. Our mind is our really key engine that can paralyze our body, or it can, just unleash our potential.
Yeah.
So the mental health, I think, COVID onwards, it became as well at the forefront of the agenda. What they can facilitate as well for others, like corporate rates, to go here, to go there, to be active, the quality of team building activities, and we need more of them.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, everything became remote and virtual,
Exactly.
and so many meetings were
Socially disconnected and physically.
Yeah.
Not done.
But so it is just to preach about it like you preach about your no misses and top priorities on profitability and top line and bottom line.
That's true.
Because, when you have a healthy cluster of employees, it's like removing the clots from veins,
True.
avoiding the heart attack,
Yeah.
and just keep flowing.
Striving.
Flowing eagerly, in a clean way, in a smooth way. So it is not only the energy that we can put in hours, it is the quality behind everything, and it starts by being healthy from the inside.
Yeah.
So recognition, motivation, good talks, breaking ice, everything helps the level of engagement. It helps you to be healthier in what you do. Trust me. So,
Yeah, it's really interesting, because everyone talking about the culture, but again, that you have a lot of definitions what culture stands for, and I think you covered more, actually, a lot of interesting points how we can tackle with small steps, because again, being a small company or a startup, trying to focus on you build up the culture from day one is totally different from a huge company to like reshuffle or restructure the whole culture, with all basically the challenges that both two words face. What's next to Yasmine now? What's your second phase? Now you are already in an amazing journey since December, but what's next as a corporate lady and as Yasmine?
I always have faith in God, in tomorrow, and in myself. So I'm a dreamer, and I love to grow on all levels, and not necessarily vertically, but also as a person, to keep learning, to mature in the wisdom of what I learned from life and what opportunities bestow upon me. So what's next? I don't think it is a blueprint, but as long as I'm evolving, I'm a better version of myself on all fronts, I'm happy. So it's not, I've been filling development plans for years, not necessarily anything of these happened.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, positive things continue to cross my path. As long as someone is committed to be a hard worker, you learn, you evolve, you grow, you want to seed goodness, you want to make the world a better place, leave a positive impact on people. This is something I genuinely not only seek but do. And this is honestly my legacy. It's not, what figures I was able only to crack, or distributors to onboard, or in sustainability. But with sustainability is this purposeful journey. It is so rewarding. I love it. It created eco-anxiety in the beginning.
Absolutely.
But really, it's the people, the planet, and it's the future generations, our kids tomorrow, and all the future generations. That's what I aim to continue to pursue, and definitely I will never ever compromise again on my health and well-being. The more I can onboard, the more I take care of myself. I'm taking care of 2 households already. So when you are a gatekeeper for your family, this is the first line of defense.
That's true.
How can you reinforce this equity and sanity and health to continue, nurturing and safeguarding and let's say giving your utmost self, towards the people you love most, and then how it can create this ripple effect.
Exactly.
So whatever unfolds, I'm always grateful. I embrace it with full arms. If there's a setback, I learn. And that's it. And I just sprint again.
Amazing.
And it's a marathon. It's a marathon.
See, it's my last question was going to be like, what's your message to the new ladies or the new basic women to working to the workforce and even joining small startups and companies? But I think you covered more than enough. This is basically the conclusion question. Where people can find you if someone want to reach out to you on social media, just maybe we can share.
Look, when it comes to social media, I'm on LinkedIn. Yasmine Barbir, it's with an A, not an E. There's the French
Everyone
and
get
the English
confused.
side. Yeah, but the other social media, honestly, they're private. They're restricted to my immediate family and friends.
Fair enough.
So Insta and Facebook, they're not open, but professionally...
LinkedIn.
Yep.
Awesome. Yasmine, I really enjoyed the conversation.
Me too. Thanks for this space.
Yeah, it's really nice to have, and I'm sure it will not be the last one. We have, of course, we can discuss a lot of interesting topics. But again, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate your presence. Everyone, if you have, please, if you have any feedback, any comments, how to improve on this show, I'm all listening. I'm just to try our best to give value. So thank you very much for joining us. Yasmine, again.
Thank you. Stay healthy.
Thank you.
And keep going.
Amazing. Take care, Dave. Thank you.
Cheers.